What's going on, guys? So today I want to actually cover cashback arbitrage and specific questions relating to how to implement it and the reviews associated with it, okay? Now, for those of you that don't know what cashback arbitrage, I have an entire playlist demonstrating tutorials on how to perform it and the benefits of it. But put simply, I'll make sure to actually link that playlist down in the description if you want to check it out as well. That'll be all the way at the bottom of the description, okay? I'm doing this like you don't know that that's the bottom. But basically, the benefits of cashback arbitrage are that you're usually getting free or very, very cheap products. So you're spending maybe $20 to get a product, then you're getting $20 back via cashback or rebate from the actual seller on those websites. And there's probably about 10 to 15 websites total that you can all scale up for, ridiculous amount of potential cashback, free and cheap products, okay? And the benefit of that is you can just scale that up very, very easily. If you do it right, we're gonna talk about 4 questions that I have here today on how to actually implement that properly to get, I was about to say millions, to get a bunch of products that you can resell for a profit, super, super low risk and high ROIs, because you're not spending very much money into them, if any at all, because they're free cashback products or cheap cashback products. And you can obviously resell them for a high ROI because your cost is super low, but the retail value of them tends to be relatively high on other platforms like Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, okay? So I feel like I've covered the main questions. Don't resell Amazon, or don't resell the cashback products back on Amazon, because you're gonna buy them on Amazon, so you don't wanna resell them back on the same listing. We're not talking about any of those specific questions today. Today I have a few questions, 4 of them in particular, and yes, I wrote them down on this high production quality whiteboard here. I didn't plan this video, but I wanted to kind of tackle it because I get these questions a lot, so I wanted to answer them once and for all, so I can reference this video if people actually have them, okay? So if you do have a question that isn't pertaining to this, drop it in the comment section down below, and I'd love to answer it for you, okay? The first one is a question of multiple accounts. So people usually ask me, if I want to scale this up, can I use multiple accounts? For example, Extreme Rebate is a great cashback site that I recommend to a lot of people. There's a tutorial in that playlist on Extreme Rebate if you want to check it out. Now, people always ask me, should I scale up with multiple Extreme Rebate accounts, right? Different emails, different IP addresses, for example, different computers. So the answer is twofold. Can you? Yes. Should you? Is it necessary? Probably not. Because across all the cashback sites, and there's, like I said, about 10 to 15 quality cashback sites, you can already get enough products with just one account on all of them. On top of that, you can also scale those individual single accounts out. So for example, on Extreme Rebate, you start with like 3 claims or like 5 claims. It's been so long since I've started, I don't even remember. But as you review more, or you start building up your account, and there's many ways to build up your Extreme Rebate account. Another one is to refer friends and family. They don't even need to purchase anything. But if you refer them, then obviously you get more claims. So you can scale up not just by using the entirety of the cashback sites, but also by building those cashback sites and your claims on them specifically up. So to answer that question specifically, you don't need multiple accounts. It's not necessary, although you can if you really want to. Now, the next one that I usually get is, how many reviews is too many, and how do I go about reviewing lots of items, right? Let's say you're scaling this up to get hundreds of items every couple weeks, or thousands of items even a month. I know some people that are scaling this up with like friends, family members, Amazon lockers, all like the entire works of it, right? So to answer your question, how do you go about scaling? It depends really on how many products you're claiming. So I can't really give a one-size-fits-all answer, but I'll try to do my best. So let's say you're claiming 20 items a week or 50 items a week. Let's go with it right in the middle of that roughly. Let's go 30, okay? So let's say you're claiming 30 items a week on a cashback site. How do you want to go about reviewing those items, right? Do you want to review them like most people do as soon as they come so that you can get your money back the quickest? No, definitely not, right? If you're ordering 30 items and you're reviewing them the second they get delivered to your door, that's going to look shady. So what you want to do is you probably want to review, you can review about 5 of them immediately if you want, 5 randomly of those 30 immediately as soon as they come to your door potentially. That won't look that shady, right? And you also, before we get into the other 25, you also want to be ordering other things. That's why I recommend supplementing cashback arbitrage with coupon arbitrage, because you can also order other things that are super, super cheap, right? So like 50 cents or 20 cents or like $1.50 to also resell back on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari for good ROIs, but then you're not reviewing those items, right? So then it doesn't look like you ordered 30 things and reviewed 30 things. It looks like you ordered 50 things or 60 things or 100 things and reviewed 30 things, right? So that's another way that you can implement the cashback arbitrage and review all the things that come, right? So to recap back, we have 30 items. You review 5 of them immediately as soon as they come, maybe another 10 of them. So now we're at 15 items of the 30 total. You review within like 2 to 3 days after they come, right? And maybe the next 15 you review a week or so after they come. So you're not reviewing everything immediately after they come, but you are kind of sporadically kind of here and there reviewing things. So it looks like to Amazon and Amazon's bots that you're not just literally immediately reviewing them or reviewing them like every 3rd day after they're delivered, right? You want it to be sporadic. You don't have to plan it out necessarily, but try to make it sporadic throughout a week or 2. You're gonna get your cash back. As long as you do it within the 30-day window, you're still gonna be protected as well, because you can always return something on Amazon for a full refund if you want to, as inaccurate website description. So that's basically how I'd recommend reviewing a lot of items at once and kind of going through the process. Remember, supplement with your buys. So buy things that you're not reviewing as well. You can do that really, really cheaply with cashback or with coupon items as well. You can also go after cashback. So example on Extreme Rebate, there's ways to sort in the thing where it's free of a review, right? Same thing on some of the other sites. So you don't have to review you don't have to review all the items, excuse me, but there are a lot that you can review and do require reviews. So supplement with coupon products and other things that you're not reviewing, and also supplement with cashback products. I do this all the time, where you don't have to review them. That way it looks like you're buying 100 things and only reviewing 30, and not buying 30 things and reviewing all 30, okay? That's how I'd recommend to handle that issue. I hope that answers that question. The next one is how to review something if it's new, right? So if you're getting something and you want to resell it as new, a lot of people have the question, how do I go about writing a review for that if I can't open it and kind of experience the product because I want to resell it as new on the other platforms for the highest ROI? So in my experience, I don't necessarily want to recommend that you make stuff up, right? Although you could, and that's typically what I do a lot of the times. But what I basically do in that situation is I'll look at like the specs or the product description, and I'll take some of the things out of there and put them in my own words. Very, very simple, right? You're getting high quality products a lot of times that just have private label brands on them. So you're doing them a favor, you're giving a good review, you're not necessarily misleading with a review because all that stuff's in the specs and the description as well already. And on top of that, if you need another way to do that, you can basically kind of judge how it would make you feel, right? So for example, if you're ordering like a Snuggie or something like that, or like a baby blanket, you should be like, well, it keeps my son super warm. I love this. Something like that, right? Or for example, you're ordering sunglasses, right? How's it gonna make you feel? Well, you're really glad that when you're driving, nothing's reflecting off the snow maybe, and you can see better, right? Or maybe the UV doesn't hit your eyes as much. Whatever it is, right? So look at the product specs, look at the description, and ask yourself, how would this potentially make me feel? You don't have to write a long thing, right? A long review. It doesn't have to be like a paragraph long or a page long. You don't need a picture. Just a sentence or two and 5 stars will do it and get you your cash back so you can resell that product for a profit margin, okay? And finally, what happens if Amazon catches on to this? So Amazon actually has seemed to be cracking down within the past month or so on a lot of these kind of rebate, not the rebate sites specifically, but a lot of people that are reviewing a lot of products. So you really have to be more diligent in how you're doing it, right? So like I said, supplement your buys, space out your reviews. Oftentimes now, I will literally, when I'm doing a review, for example, I'm monitoring everything. I always recommend to track it. So for example, I might not review something for like 2-3 weeks after it comes, knowing full well that I'm gonna get that money back anyway, and I'm safer that way. And on sites like Extreme Rebate, let's say that, for example, I have claims like I think like 70 available claims. So I'll literally claim all 70 of those, get my rebate back before I review it, because on some sites like Extreme Rebate, for example, not every site, you get the cash back before you actually review something, okay? So keep that in mind. Amazon has been catching on sometimes here and there, but typically all I've seen is they're kind of slapping you on the wrist with like, hey, we're not going to accept some reviews for a period of time. And so if that happens, you can do one of two things. You can either wait and try to review it in the future, maybe like 2-3 weeks from then, right? Keep your account, kind of let it cool down, and maybe even give some bad reviews on some products, right? If you have a product in the past that you've bought from Amazon that you don't like, give a bad review on it, or give it a 2 or 3 stars or a 4-star rating. So everything doesn't look like it's 5-star ratings. That's the best way to handle it. But typically, in my experience, Amazon's just giving people slaps on the wrist because they're obviously not going to deter you from buying. That's how they make money. They're not going to take your Prime membership away. That's how they make money. So if they do catch on, it's usually just a buffer zone. Let your account cool down for a little bit. Don't review anything, and then you can resume doing so in the future. So those are the 4 questions that I get more frequently than not. I really hope that covers, reviews and how you should approach them with cashback arbitrage.